Unfortunately, because of the way it works, some of these places, they are almost exclusively white. And so
But
what
just,
this is dealing
just
with...
advertising it
no,
in
because,
that way,
so
you
what,
would deem it extremely racist and offensive.
So there is a problem that you have almost all white audiences, and it doesn't feel like a safe space for black audience members or cast members. And so what you're saying is trying to address this problem, let's have an all black space.
So when you go to a theatre, if you see white...
no problem with all
To be
black,
clear, when you
black,
go to a
black,
theatre and you see white people there, you don't feel safe.
No, when it's...
You won't believe what happened on Piers Morgan's show. Think of it like this. Piers Morgan, known for his no-nonsense attitude, went head-to-head with a woke professor. And let me tell you, he absolutely obliterated him with some insane facts.
Audience billed as the marketing that was free from the black gaze, you would say that was racist.
Because it would be racist. This is to address a specific problem.
Yeah.
That is in the cultural sector, there is all
The
white
only
spaces.
works...
So how do you address that?
Right,
You
so
say, let's create a
racist
different
if
space.
it's to do with...
You're just minimising the importance of that conversation again. You're just making it a hypocritical conversation to...
The woke professor, like many others, believes that anyone can self-identify as anything they want. Man, woman, non-binary, you name it.
that conversation again. You're just making it a hypocritical conversation to cause an argument.
Or am I exposing a double standard?
No, there isn't a double standard.
I'm actually exposing the hypocrisy.
One of these groups is a minority and one isn't. And you always bang on, and I hate to bring this in because I don't want to have a debate about it, but you always bring in safe spaces for women, which I completely agree with. And you talk about how important that is. But then suddenly when there's a safe space for black people, you've got an issue with it. So what's going on there?
Piers, on the other hand, isn't having any of this nonsense. He brings up a really disturbing case where a male rapist decided to identify as a woman to get transferred to a female prison. Once there, he attacked a vulnerable woman. Even the rapist's ex-wife called it a scam. Now, if that doesn't make you see the loopholes in this woke ideology, I don't know what will. Piers didn't stop there. He dropped a bombshell stat. 42% of trans-identifying prisoners are in for sex crimes.
But we're having a conversation about safe spaces, and the idea is that by doing a blackout event, it will feel safer for that community to talk about.
So what if I want to have
issues.
a whiteout event?
They all are white.
Well, I mean, you can join the Ku Klux Klan if you want, Piers. Like, you're more than welcome.
So if it's a whiteout event, it's Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah, you heard that right. Apparently, identifying as female has its advantages in prison. It's like they're gaming the system to get into what they see as a more comfortable environment. But hey, isn't that what the woke crowd preaches? Unlimited self-identity, right? The professor saying it is an isolated incident, but Piers wasn't buying it. He hammered home the point that self-identification without any real criteria is absurd. At one point, he even asked, "Why can't I identify as a black lesbian?" The professor's response was to laugh it off. But the absurdity of the situation was clear to everyone. Now, this is where it gets really juicy. The professor kept trying to pivot the conversation, talking about how hard it is to come out as trans, but Piers wasn't having any of it. He pointed out how some mediocre male athletes suddenly identify as female to dominate in women's sports. Imagine a 6'4" guy who couldn't win in male sports, now smashing records in female events. It's unfair and, frankly, ridiculous.
But realize that they be trying to insult us. They treat us like bloody children, like animals, like little dogs, little cats. We gotta be mollycoddled. We gotta be treated like little children. We can't think for ourselves. Oh my gosh, the little black people are gonna be afraid. The little black people are so fragile, they can't hang around white people.
Piers went further, respecting those who genuinely go through the arduous process of transitioning but have zero respect for those who just raise their hand and claim a new identity for convenience. It's like saying, "Today I feel like a woman," and suddenly expecting all the rights and privileges that come with it. How does that make any sense? The woke professor's argument was falling apart. Piers highlighted how this limitless self-identification is being taken to ridiculous extremes. If anyone can identify as anything, where do we draw the line? Can someone just wake up and decide they are a different race or even species? The conversation also touched on how over-the-top pride celebrations have become. Piers isn't against pride. He's against the in-your-face, constant bombardment of it. It's everywhere you go, flags, parades, month-long celebrations.
I've stated this many times. Black people are not a monolith. Just because one black gentleman does something doesn't mean I'm going to do that exact same thing. We don't all listen to hip hop. We don't all grow out our hair like this. We're all very different, come in different shades, different.
He made a great point. Where's the celebration for straight people? Why don't we have a straight Pride Month? It's not about being against anyone's rights. It's about asking for balance and not showing agendas down everyone's throats. And let's talk about body positivity. The professor tried to defend celebrating morbid obesity under the guise of body positivity. Piers, rightfully so, pointed out the dangers of this trend. Being morbidly obese is a health risk. It's not something to be celebrated, but addressed with honesty.
White people to exclude them from being able to enjoy something like the theater. This is very reminiscent of the Jim Crow South that we experienced in America, where you had white and colored water fountains. This is the very same reality that we are now ushering in, even though we made it to a time of progress where this was no longer an issue. We are inviting it back.
Encouraging people to be comfortable in their own skin is one thing, but glorifying unhealthy lifestyles? That's a no from me. Then there's the whole mess with trans athletes. Piers suggested a separate category for trans athletes, which makes total sense. Let them compete on a level playing field without compromising women's sports. But the woke professor was against it, insisting on individual assessments. Come on, can you imagine the logistics nightmare of assessing each athlete case by case?
It's already a whiteout. This is an anti-racist way.
But if white people did this, we're the KKK.
You do it all the time.
Okay.
That's the point.
Yeah. And here's
Can
the
I just speak from a
problem.
queer perspective
Here's
for a
the
second?
problem.
From a queer, what about a very ignorant perspective?
As a gay person,
KKK.
it's important that I am sometimes in a space of other queer people that is just queer people, so I feel safe to be myself.
You exclude
without
straight
worrying,
people like me?
okay? I would exclude you, Piers, but if you want to go to JAY with me,
I've been
more
there,
than
mate.
Let's
I've
go
been
together.
there.
Great. But listen.
In the end, Piers Morgan's argument was clear, logical, and grounded in reality. The woke professor's ideology, on the other hand, was full of holes and impracticalities. This debate wasn't just entertaining, it was a wake-up call. We need to stop pandering to and start using common sense.
It's KKK. Free from the white gays. That's
This is an
emancipation.
This is an anti-racist idea. This is what the whole point is, to address a problem.
It's actually, in its own way, it's just blatant racism.
It's not racism.
It is.
not racist.
It's excluding people on their skin colour.
No.
It's the exact opposite of what
white
Martin
people
Luther King
still
said. Judge people by the content of
you
their
just a minute
character.
ago, you were
It's racism. Ironically enough, it's racism. Now, there is the argument that some black people put forward, which is...
If you missed it, do yourself a favor and catch the replay. It's not every day you see someone like Piers Morgan tear apart woke nonsense with such precision and factual backing. This is the kind of debate we need more of. Straightforward, fact-based, and no holes barred. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.